Marc Mooney got a taste of NRA denial firsthand recently when he toured the National Firearms Museum.
When in Washington, be sure to see the massive ministry buildings, the epic statuary, and the monumental architecture. Enjoy it all. But you might as well shoot yourself in the head if you come all this way without seeing the National Firearms Museum.
Imagine seeing basically a story of America like no other museum can tell.
Nobody can tell the story of guns in America quite like the NRA, proud home of the National Firearms Museum. Certainly nobody has more guns to show off.
It's actually a display that's bigger than any of the Smithsonian or National Park Service museums. It's the third largest collection available for folks to see.
There are medieval guns, modern guns, colonial guns, military guns, guns from the frontier, big guns, tiny guns, horizontal guns, vertical guns, guns formed in circles, guns, 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 guns.
If we're promoting anything, it's history. And the 600 years of firearms history we have represented is a story that has warts, blemishes. It has quite a few smiles and grins in it. It's American history.
In the NRA version of firearms in history, guns have been used mainly to put food on the table.
Basically, what you have is a one-shot firearm. Once you've fired that one shot,
that's it.
That is it.
You'll find lots of coonskin caps and stuffed black bears. But no Columbine exhibit, no section on spree killings, no AK-47 Hall of Fame.
Guns are used far more on a constructive basis. When you think about it, for personal protection, for hunting, collecting, reenacting, the constructive uses of firearms are just myriad.
The museum is not actually in Washington. It's in Virginia, where the NRA moved a few years ago, a far friendlier place for lovers of the Second Amendment. It's also safer for NRA employees than the old headquarters in inner-city Washington, where for a while there in the late 80s, so many children were killing each other, they called it murder capital.
The firearm was something that a minor would carry with them for personal protection, no matter where they went.
He could be talking about today's public housing projects, but he's referring to Gold Rush, California.
We're showing through the different ages how each of the themes that we're showing impacted upon our society.
If you have only one shot at the museum, don't miss the mock-up of a boy's bedroom stocked with an arsenal of toy guns. Gee, maybe people do kill people after all.
Well, let me tell you something. You guys do a great job here.
We had a lot of fun getting to this point.
Really.
Marc, I think that was just an outstanding story. How'd you get in, knowing how sort of secretive and guarded the NRA is? How'd you get in to do that story?
We had to basically lie and say we were going to do just a straight story in the museum, show people what it was like. I mean, the moment I started, if I had started asking hard questions, they probably would have put a gun to my head.
How many guns you see, and did you have a favorite?
It's incredible. There are 2,000 guns in there. My favorite was this crude iron pipe from about 1400. One of the first guns made. There was like a bazooka, and it took an hour after you shot it to reload it and to fire again. So there probably weren't many mass killers, I'm imagining.
Not in the Middle Ages.
Back then.